Zach the Ripper Comics, and on tonight's episode, we're going to take a look at the huge WWE draft that started with Night 1 on SmackDown, along with the Women's Championship, Bayley versus Sasha Banks, and the In-Ring Network television debut on SmackDown of The Fiend. Let's get into Zach the Ripper reviews, SmackDown. Right off the bat, I want to give a shout out to WWE. Their production team has been killing it with the Thunderdome. Tonight's arena looked fantastic. I was actually really impressed with the way they made it over. They're starting to get to the point with production where you don't notice the Thunderdome audience as much as we did in the early ongoings this past August. Stephanie McMahon makes her way out. She is representing both shows and will be announcing the picks for both shows, as opposed to last year when they had the USA and Fox Network execs in some cringeworthy segments. I like the way they're doing it tonight. And along with my video at the bottom right here will be a ticker, all video long, telling you exactly who picked who in which rounds. Off the bat, we find out that Raw has chosen their WWE champion, Drew McIntyre, Big Daddy Cool himself, to stay on that program, along with SmackDown choosing Roman Reigns, the WWE Universal Champion, to stay on its show. Not much change there. And the first match of the night is a Falls Count Anywhere match. What a great matchup, what a great stipulation to hook viewers in, to keep them in after the announcement made by Stephanie with the first round of the draft. This was a really good match, a hoss fight, absolutely, that contained two big athletes, Sheamus against Big E, brawling all over the arena. If this didn't keep viewers, I don't know what would. Big E was advertising his cameo on his actual tights. Genius idea, however. I'm not sure how Vince McMahon is going to feel about this, as just recently the news came down that he will be taking over everybody's social media accounts while they're contracted to the company. Sheamus would nail white noise through the windshield of the car, followed up by Big E eventually making his comeback, ignoring Rikishi in the background, and hitting a big ending on Sheamus through the tables for the victory. Following this, we saw the return of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. New Day back as a trifecta, congratulating Big E on what has been a really good singles run thus far. New Day made it clear that the only thing missing from their group were the Tag Team Championships, which was a seed planted for what took place later in the evening. The number one contender to the WWE Universal Championship, as set by Roman Reigns, Jey Uso makes his way out, and Jey acknowledges the fact that he knows Roman's not going to come out, but he wants to know what is the stipulation to their Hell in a Cell match that takes place next week on the WWE Network. Paul Heyman appears on the screen, letting Jey know that he does not dictate anything, that Roman does what he wants when he wants, as we've seen in the past few weeks. And Roman, looking like the Don of SmackDown himself, let it known that he's going to make this an I Quit match, and the ramifications, the consequences of that will come following the match. We're not sure exactly what Roman means by this, but it's anybody's guess. Leave a comment below on what you think the ramifications, the consequences, after Jey Uso or Roman Reigns says I quit in their Hell in a Cell match. Roman was absolutely excellent in this promo. The tandem of Roman and Paul has been absolute money. It's clear that Roman is feeling this and enjoying this. He's also giving the rub to Jey Uso, which has been tremendous for the career of Uso. I'm very much looking forward to their match next week at Hell in a Cell, inside the cell, in the I Quit match. Up next, The Miz and John Morrison took on Broetry in Motion, Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy. And as everybody knows, I cannot stand Matt Riddle for personal reasons. He should be in jail, and perhaps will be there soon, as he's being sued by Candy Cartwright, former independent professional wrestler, for $10 million. Riddle and Hardy win this match, and following the match, we see the return of Lars Sullivan. If it couldn't get any worse than Matt Riddle and what he's been accused of, here's Lars Sullivan. He makes his return, squashing Matt Riddle, squashing Jeff Hardy, squashing The Miz, John Morrison able to run away, and Lars Sullivan, a guy that I will be doing a follow-up video on why you should boycott him and why he should not be permitted to be on a television program geared towards everyone, including children. Stephanie McMahon then says that Lars Sullivan will be eligible for Monday Night Raw's Night 2 of the Draft lottery pool. Up next, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship match, which felt like it was a little too soon for this given the turn that just happened a month ago. The obvious came to be as there was a disqualification finish just a few minutes in to set up what will become a Hell in a Cell match for the SmackDown Women's Championship at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view taking place next week. To everyone that was triggered and upset that I haven't talked about Sasha Banks enough, I hope that this was a long enough segment for you. Otherwise, I don't care. And ladies and gentlemen, real quick, we're going to take a pause to pound some Polar. That's good stuff. As I said earlier in the show, WWE really went all out making this a fantastic SmackDown episode. And up next is a tag team championship between champions Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, who I have said in the past are a great tag team, which probably means they'll be breaking up soon. They defended their tag team championships against the returning New Day Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. As I'm not a fan of the bony man himself, Kofi Kingston, he managed to bring some spark back to SmackDown along with Xavier Woods in a really entertaining tag team match, which saw the New Day become 7-time tag team champions when Xavier Woods nailed a fantastic springboard elbow for the victory. Big E runs out to celebrate with his brethren in what was a nice SmackDown moment, however interrupted by the boss Stephanie McMahon to make the next round draft announcements, announcing that both New Day members Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods were drafted to Raw, whereas Big E has been chosen by SmackDown to stay where he is. Trifecta looked to be upset by this, however we found out via WWE.com that the New Day will have a SmackDown farewell send-off next week, so another reason to tune in to the season premiere of SmackDown 1 week from now. And just 1 week ago, I said that the final segment on SmackDown should have been anything containing The Fiend and Alexa Bliss. And SmackDown heard us, WWE heard us here at Zack the Ripper Comics, because tonight's show ended with a really good match between The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Kevin Owens. Now, the reason I found this matchup really good is because Kevin Owens barely got any offense in. The offense he did get in, The Fiend was able to no-sell on his way to being rebuilt and put atop the SmackDown ranks. We saw Kevin Owens in his Only Eats, Only Fans attempt to eat the hand of Bray Wyatt as Bray Wyatt and The Fiend shoved the mandible claw down Owens' throat, then lifted the man with one arm and was able to slam him for the referee to declare the 1-2-3 as The Fiend demolishes the KO show on his way back up the ramp to stand alongside his new sweetheart, Alexa Bliss. And we end the show on that, and I think that is a fantastic cliffhanger. It was a great match to send the crowd, Zack the Ripper Comics, home happy, leading us into this coming Monday Night Raw's Draft Night 2. Now, normally every week we call in the Dean himself, Dean Douglas. However, I have a surprise for all of you. We have the Dean himself live. Dean, how are you? What did you think of tonight's show?
Use the word cool, such as, hey man, that's cool. Or yo, cool.
Dean, I don't...
So therefore,
Dean...
Definition.
Dean...
Cool. Slang.
Dean, I don't... We'll call you back.
Very good.
I'm not sure exactly what the Dean himself, Dean Douglas, was talking about there, but I will give this show, yet again, a solid B. Now, I want to thank my patrons that found me over at patreon.com/ZackTheRipperComics. You guys have been tremendous. You're what's keeping the show going, along with the community that we're finding that have seen us on Facebook, liked that page, found us on Instagram, hit up that eBay store for all of your comic book needs. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it goes a long, long way. Until next time.
Let's consider Diesel's performance in the WWF rings.